book of Mark, chapter 8, verse 24. And he looked up and said, I see men as trees walking. After that, after that, he put his hands again upon his eyes.
Right, so the man that Yahushua healed, he was a blind man. Right? Yahushua healed him, and Yahushua asked him, what did he see? He said, I see men as trees walking on the earth. Right? Because men are likened unto trees. Because what do trees do? They grow up. Right? They got to be founded by water. You got to water a tree so it can grow to be big and strong. They got to bring forth fruit, meat for repentance. If you want to get deep. All right, so that's a tree. Men are likened unto trees in the scriptures. So when they say the trees were not like Adam, meaning the other nations wasn't like Adam in the Garden of Eden. All right, that's like you check out all these other nations. They not like the Israelites. They don't salt like us, man.
Jacob is not like them.
Yeah, the portion of Jacob is not like them, for he's the former of all things.
In Garden of Eden, that was basically talking about that Fertile Crescent area, basically Jerusalem. And I got a precept on that. This book of Genesis, chapter 2, verse 8. And the Lord Yahweh planted a garden eastward in Eden, and there he put the man whom he had formed.
There you go, right? Eastward Eden, that's talking about the land of Jerusalem. Right? Because that's where all men from, not Africa. Alright? And bring that out in Ezekiel 31, where you left off. Yeah, bring it up.
Read it again. Verse 8.
This book of Ezekiel, chapter 31, verse 8. And the cedars in the garden of Yahweh could not hide him. The fir trees were not like his boughs, and the chestnut trees were not like his branches, nor any tree in the garden of Yahweh was like unto him in his beauty.
Right, we bring it up.
When it's talking about the branches and the different trees, that's talking about different nations in that garden. That was the Fertile Crescent area.
Right, and they were not like him. Meaning no other nation is like the Israelites. All right, bring it out.
That's why it was foolish for Adam to, hide amongst the other nations. How can you hide amongst the other nations? You're going to stick out like a sore thumb, right? It just said that, no other tree is like unto him. So what makes you think you're going to hide, and get away with it, right? There's no way around it. You're the chosen. You got a question?
I wouldn't mind asking one, like,
What's up, brother?
what's going on, bro? Why they keep talking about Ethiopia and Egypt in the Bible?
Give me Zephaniah 2 and 12. Well, I'm going to hit you with something. The Bible prophesies about all nations, man. Every nation is mentioned in the scriptures. All right? So when you say, why does the Bible talk about Ethiopia, in what light are you referring to it? Are you saying it's talk about it in a negative light or a positive light? When the Bible is speaking about Ethiopia.
I knew Ethiopia. He told me about this other Bible. One time I was locked up. I didn't really know him like that. He was like, let's pray. I was like, no, I ain't praying. I was running with the nation. But I didn't never join the nation. So make a long story short, he was like, when we got finished praying, he was like, I need to tell you something, brother. Boy, I was like, what? He's like, it's a Bible over here. It's so holy that we barely get to read. I know you know Dr. Ben. Dr. Nadu passed away.
I never heard of him.
You don't know about John Henry Clark either?
I don't recall.
Right. Well, anyway, I asked this one guy preaching the Bible. I met this preacher. I was asking about the Bible. We was at a hospital one day. So I was like, why they can't find nobody gravesite in the Bible? Not nobody. But they keep finding people over in Egypt, in Kemet, which is Kemet. The word chemistry comes from Kemet. Why they keep finding people over there that's older? He said, what he told me, he was like, man, that's too old.
What's going on here?
So when he said that was too old,
I'm dealing with this brother right quick. Give me Zephaniah 2 and 12.
My thinking bank right now. I say, well, how's they finding people on the pyramids, kings and queens, and we know when Moses walked down, they found the pyramids was already in shit. Don't nobody even know.
But was Moses an Egyptian?
Was Moses the Egyptian?
Right, yeah.
I'll tell you what, he fitted in with them.
Right, but he wasn't. Remember, he was a Hebrew Israelite from the tribe of Levi.
There's no evidence of that.
It is evidence of that. Give me that in Exodus.
You
got him, brother.
chapter 2 and verse 1.
So do you read out the Apocrypha?
Tired, man.
Yeah, we read out the Apocrypha. 14 missing books, they took out the scriptures. Now bring that out.
This is the book of Exodus, chapter 2, verse 1. And there went a man of the house of Levi and took to wife a daughter of Levi.
Right. Levi, the tribe of Levi, that's talking about the so-called Haitians of the nation of Israel. Read on.
Verse 2. And the woman conceived and bare a son. And when she saw him that he was a godly child, she hid him 3 months. And when she could not longer hide him, she took for him an ark of bulrushes and daubed it with slime with pitch, and put the child therein, and she laid it in the flags by the river's brink. And his sister stood afar off to wit what would be done to him. And the daughter of Pharaoh came down to wash herself at the river, and her maidens walked along by the river's side. And when she saw the ark among the flags, she sent her maid to fetch it. And when she had opened it, she saw the child, and behold, the babe wept. And she had compassion on him and said, "This is one of the Hebrews' children."
One of the what?
This is one of the Hebrews' children.
Just talking about Moses' birth. She said, this is one of the Hebrews' children. So he wasn't an Egyptian, he was a Hebrew
I know that, but
of the tribe of Levi.
I understand what you're saying. A lot of stuff that's in the Bible, like half of that stuff come from over in Kemet.
Give me Leviticus 18 and 3. See, that's where you wrong at. Give me Leviticus 18 and 3.
Why you think they was tearing down the walls and shooting off the noses in the
This is the book of Leviticus,
taking
chapter
the statue.
18, verse 3.
It is, brother.
This is the book of Leviticus, chapter 18, verse 3. After the doings of the land of Egypt, wherein ye dwelt, ye shall not do.
You hear that, brother? Read that again.
After the doings of the land of Egypt, wherein ye dwelt, shall ye not do.
Right, so how we get our customs from Kemet when the Lord said, after the doings of the land of Egypt wherein ye dwelt, shall ye not do? So this Bible is contrary to Kemet.
Who saved the Hebrews?
Moses and the Most High.
So they didn't, when they were starving, what they, it was a famine. You know what I'm talking about?
And the Most High saved the Israelites, bro.
Well, I ain't talking about the mammoth. I'm talking about the Egyptians. The Kemetic people they had all the food. And they, you know what I'm talking about?
Keep reading
They
on
was
that.
saving all the food, the barley and the bacon. You know what I'm talking about?
Talking about Joseph?
Okay, Joseph. He had why did the Kemetic people, the Egyptians?
You know what that's an
that ain't the
example
word,
of?
Egyptian,
Hold
that
up,
ain't the word.
hold up, brother. You know what that's an example of? That's like a so-called black man in this society, so-called making it. But he's still a so-called black man. He can't change his nationality just because he was raised in a Pacific location. All right? Well, hold up.
But it was the people already
All right,
over
so
here in America, the Olmecs heads.
Give me Zephaniah 2 and 12.
The Olmecs heads already was in, the big statues. You know what I'm talking about, the Olmecs heads.
Right, but hold up, brother.
Can we talk about
Give me
that?
Zephaniah 2 and 12.
This is the book of Zephaniah, chapter 2, verse 12. Ye Ethiopians also, ye shall be slain by my sword.
Right, so that's what the Most High said about the Ethiopians, brother. They're going to be slain by the sword. And likewise the Egyptians, because the Bible don't deal with Kemet and Egyptology. Right, it's a totally different nation. All right, bring it up.
So like I want to mention, Moses did marry a Midianite, but he didn't know any better, right? Because remember, hold on. When Moses fled Egypt, you know, after slaying that Egyptian, he left. He married that.
He slayed an Egyptian, and he said,
he
"Thou
married
shalt
a
not
Hamite.
kill."
Hold on. He didn't know anybody. He married a Hamite, right? And then he came back and then freed his people. So that's what happened. That's the history, and that's why he married that Hamite.
All the black people in the Bible was
So
cursed.
he did have Hebrews, you know, intermingling, but they didn't know any better. For example, Moses and other brothers.
Why all the
He went off.
black tribes in the Bible is cursed? Like Ham
And at the same time, brother, you know, what does that prove?
pardon me.
Yeah, what does that prove? Even if we was marrying with the other nations, what does that prove? What is the proof in that? What's your point in that?
Well, what I'm saying is, right now, nobody know their bloodline, because if they was mixing the races, you already.
But give me
he
Numbers
said it.
118. Give me Numbers 118.
It was already black people here. Every black person, they
Numbers
scattered.
1. Hold up, brother. Give me Numbers 118.
This is the book of Numbers, chapter 1, verse 18. And they assembled all the congregation together on the first day of the second month, and they declared their pedigrees after their families, by the house of their fathers.
Right, so the seed is of the father. So it don't matter we was intermingling with the other nations, the seed is still of the father. Alright, so you are what your father is. If your father was a Hebrew, you are a Hebrew. It don't matter it don't matter where he planted seed at. He could plant a seed in the so-called white woman, that's still gonna be an Israelite baby.
What if your father was a black or African?
Well, then you a devil.
A devil? Africans is the devil?
Yep.
So why is they using all the knowledge from over there from Kemet, which is in Africa? Because there ain't no such thing as
Who doing that?
Okay, let's see. On the dollar bill that we got to spend, what they got on there?
A pyramid.
Okay, over there in Washington, D.C.,
is that a right thing?
why they got the obelisks over there?
Is that a right
they got
thing?
them over. Is that a right thing?
Yeah.
Well, see, money right now ain't nothing because who running the land? Like, if you want to make a boat or a tank, where you gonna get your material from? Because you ain't gonna go dig in the earth because the white man gonna dig in your earth. Hey, you already know. You gonna get building
So
tanks.
you're saying
You need $1 million to
Hold on,
build this thing.
what's your point though? What's your point?
Whoever running this earth is running the world and running that Bible.
The Jews is running
No.
it.
Who's the right?
The Jews is running
Right.
Who are the
He's
Jews?
speaking. Who are the Jews?
We are the Jews. We are the real Jews. Give me Jeremiah 14:2.
He don't know. Where you going, brother?
Jeremiah
Get
14:2.
back up here.
Man, all I'm saying is you saying that the Africans ain't nothing. But everybody know that's where everything started at.
It's not where everything started at,
So
bro.
where life started at? Over in Alaska?
Israel. Jerusalem.
Israel.
Yes. Jeremiah 14:2.
Where's Israel at?
This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 14, verse 2. Judah mourneth, and the gates thereof languish. They are black unto the ground.
They are what?
They are black unto the ground.
So the real Jews are black, brother.
Black.
This brother got a Kemet spirit, man. Read on.
And the cry of Jerusalem is going up.
Right, there you go, man. So the real Jews are black. Alright, the so-called devil, the white man is running the earth because he's the devil that the Bible speaks of.
In the
Give
Bible,
me Job
in the old
9:24.
book, in the old Bible, do they talk about, they say the word Jew, and like Judith and
No, because that's English.
Maccabees and all that, do they talk about, I'm saying that's
English.
Judah is an English word. And the Hebrew is Yahweh.
But you believe in Christmas.
Alright?
Looking for the white.
So give me Job 9:24.
Turn around.
This is the book of Job, chapter 9, verse 24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked.
What the Lord say?
The earth is given into the hand of the wicked.
Right, so the wicked run the earth.
He's the wicked.
I'm just asking. So you think God, Jesus gonna come out the sky? I'm just asking a question.
Yes. Yeah.
He gonna come out the sky?
Yep. In a
As a
chariot.
spirit, as a man?
As a man.
Like flesh,
Yep.
and he can fly.
Yep.
I'm just asking a question.
Yeah, brother. Yeah. He's gonna have spiritual power.
Gonna
He
be
can
by
fly.
himself too?
No, he's gonna be with the saints
The saints,
and the angels.
saints and the angels.
Yep.
The ones that was cast out? Or no, not them ones. The other ones that's fighting.
Give me Revelations 1:7.
They say that no man's supposed to know about.
This is the book of Revelation, chapter 1, verse 7. Behold, he cometh with clouds, and every eye shall see him.
What the Lord say?
And every eye shall see him.
Right, so behold, he cometh with clouds, and every eye shall see him. Now you know what the clouds are? Nope. Give me Psalms 104:3.
We in space right now, brother. You know that, don't you? You know we in space right now.
No, brother, we ain't really dealing with all that, man.
You ain't down when we speaking.
Give me Psalms
See, you told me you
104:3.
don't want me to speak. You know we in
That's
space.
just-
The
that's
earth
just
is
high.
saying, look, this the earth. Say this the earth. So what's around the earth?
Psalms
What's around the
104:3.
earth, bro? We in
This is
outer
the book of
space.
Psalms 104, verse 3. Who layeth the beams of his chambers in the waters? Who maketh the clouds his chariots?
You do what?
Who maketh the clouds his chariot?
Right. So the Most High make the clouds his chariot. So Yahweh Shai, that's his real name. It's not Jesus Christ. All right. The letter J was disinvented in the 1500s.
I call him Sirach.
Right. His name is not Jesus Christ. It's Yahweh Shai.
Was he created by Constantine?
No, brother. No. All right. Bring that out. Revelations 1:7. All right. Shalom.
Hotep, brother.
Hotep spirit, man. Hotep.
That Hotep spirit is teach you about the afterlife.
Look, we're not dealing with the African life.
Body ain't nothing
Bring it
but
up.
shit.
I gotta get
Right.
There we go. That is that makes sense.
Now the brother mentioned, what did he say? He said Africa helped Israel out, right? Well, look, we're going to read it. We're going to read the account of what really happened. This is Genesis chapter 45, verse 4. And Joseph said unto his brethren, come near to me, I pray you. And they came near. And he said, I am Joseph your brother. So like, I am Joseph your brother, whom ye sold into Egypt. Now therefore, be not grieved nor angry with yourselves that ye sold me hither. For Yahweh did send me before you to preserve life. Verse 6. For these 2 years hath the famine been in the land, and yet there are 5 years, in the which there shall neither be shall neither be earing nor harvest. And Yahweh sent me before you to preserve you a prosperity in the earth, and to save you your lives by a great deliverance. Right? So it wasn't really Egypt that helped them out, it was actually Joseph, right? The Most High set up Joseph to help out Israel. So that's what really happened, right? Because there's no account of the pharaohs and saying, I want to willingly help, Israel out. Most High set up Joseph to do all of that, right? To preserve him.
That's right, man.
Right? We're not giving credit to Egypt and Ham and
man.
butt monkeys.
It's a lot. When they said it was an abomination for us to eat with them.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're not giving credit to the Hamites, man. Come on, man. What's going on, brother? You know your nationality? What is it?
Eat, man. Eat.
Whew. First of all, I was talking to the man. Alright? Not the woman.
Well, they get that haughty spirit. They feel like they're in charge, they larger in charge, so I'm gonna answer for him. You got it.
I'm gonna answer for him. He's my rib, right? He's my rib. That's what Eve thinks, man. That's going off, right? They got it twisted. Man, they got it twisted, man. You might get in Sirach 18:5. Hey, how you feel about that picture? Yeah. Nodded his head. Nodded your head for it.
Going to slavery.
Yeah.
Right.
Going to slavery.
Yeah, you can't get around that. He said it pretty loud. All right. Brother, you got a minute? Brother man. You might get in Sirach 18:5, Baba Bashar, in the Apocrypha. Right, who is that in the crowd? Look, man, you got a lot of, you might get in Jeremiah, somebody over there, 10:16. You got a lot of Edomites trying to be like Jake. Are you finished? Are you finished? Are you under the Are you under the influence?
Oh,
Yes.
what you want?
Or are you on drugs? Yeah. This is your kingdom. You're supposed to do whatever you want. You gonna waste your time paying on drugs? You're Catholic. Wait, hold on. We can't judge people. Yeah. If I see somebody about to rape somebody, I'm gonna judge them and say, hey, don't do that. You're wrong. That's judgment. Right? That's judgment. You don't know what's going on. You don't know. Do y'all believe you can judge according to the Bible? Do you believe in judging people? That's okay. Educated guess. Well, that's the thing. You can't really let our people just, be them. Because the Bible says otherwise, right? So if it says, don't eat pork, and you see your brother eating pork, you gotta say, brother, you can't do that. The Most High is gonna destroy you, right? You judge them out of righteousness and out of love, right? The same way if you see a friend, talking to a guy, you're gonna tell him, look, don't go to that guy. He's a wicked dude.